Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna do an unboxing. I don't do a lot of unboxings, but I thought, before I start testing these cases, why don't I go ahead and unbox them, give you an up close look, and then we'll bring them back on for later videos and talk about them more in depth after I've had some time to use them, to get to know them, and to get a better feel for what I like about them and what maybe I don't like about them. So today it's gonna be all about unboxing. I've got 3 new clear cases. One is from Ghostek. This is the Ghostek Covert 4 clear case. This is the first Ghostek case that I've ever used, I've ever purchased. So I'm really interested to see what Ghostek is all about. Last year, I reviewed the Smartish Kung Fu grip for the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And so this year I've actually bought another Kung Fu grip. I bought the clear version of the Kung Fu grip for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The thing I loved about the Kung Fu grip is very similar to the Kadabi sheath. It's a very nice, thin, light and weight case, but around the edges, there's just so much grip, so much grippiness around the edges. This is the grippiest case I have ever used. So I thought, hey, let's see how this looks in a clear case version and a clear version of the case and see, is it still as grippy and how does it look on the phone? And then finally, one of the things that I always like to do is look at Amazon best-selling cases. So I've picked up this case for 10 bucks. It's from a company named Tim Dan, and it's just a clear case compatible with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Just essentially, a nice clear case for your iPhone for 10 bucks. It's the #1 best-selling case on Amazon. So I thought, hey, let's throw this in the mix. Let's take a look at it. And so yeah, got 3 cases. We're gonna unbox them. We're gonna take an up-close look, give you my first impressions, and then we'll be coming back to these later with more thoughts about which one, what do I like about them, what I not like about them, what do you need to know if you're considering buying one of these cases, or if you're looking for a clear case. So if this is content that you enjoy, hey, smash that subscribe button down below, give me a like, help promote this channel so we can do more videos like this and keep things going in 2021. Thanks for being with me. Appreciate you watching the video. So let's jump into it. All right, so let's start off with the #1 best-selling basic case from Amazon. This comes to us from Tim Dan. It's a Chinese company. You can see right here at the bottom, it is made in China. So I've not opened any of these cases. These cases have been sitting on my desk for a few days now. I've waited to dive into these so that you're gonna get my honest first impressions as I open up the box. So let's jump into it. All right, first case from Tim Dan. Pick this up for $9.99 on Amazon. I will include links to all of these cases down below. All right, here's what you get. Basically, nothing else in the package. So you've got a piece of kind of a plastic holder, and then the case comes wrapped in a plastic wrapper. Let's take that off. And okay. Just a very basic clear case. Initial impression when I take this out of the box, it kind of reminds me of the Ghostek case. It's a little bit different, but it's very clear. I mean, if I put that behind there, I mean, it's very clear. It reminded me a little bit of, so the back of it reminds me of the Taurus case, but the corners definitely remind me of the Ghostek case. So you can see the air pockets up close here, so that will give you some added drop protection with this case. It is a pretty thin case overall, but I do think you're going to be okay with most light drops, maybe from waist high. The back of the case is flat, including the camera cutout. So there isn't a raised bump around the camera, but if you notice here in the corner, there are raised edges around the back of the case in all 4 corners. And what that does is it both protects your camera lenses, but also it actually protects scratches from the back of the case. So if you set it down on a table or a flat surface, it will be raised off of the back as well as the front with the lip around the front of the case too. There's that edge that's around the back corner, along with the air pockets in the corners for protection. Here's the side of the case. The buttons are nice and thin, so they're plenty clicky. Cutouts for your power port and your speaker grills. You do get a lanyard hole on this case, so if you want to have a wrist strap or a lanyard, you can add that to this case, but it's essentially a basic $9.99 clear case. So next up is the Smartish. As I mentioned before, last year I had the version in black. So this year I wanted to get this case again because of its grippiness. Just love the Kung Fu grip. Smartish makes some great cases, but I wanted to be able to show off that iPhone, that gold iPhone 12 Pro Max. So I bought it in clear. Let's take it out of the package here. You do get a couple of things with the case. Let's set the case down and look at what we get. So we have kind of a card where they're asking you to review the case on Amazon. And then you also get a Smartish sticker. So if you like things like that, you will find a couple of additional pieces in the package. And then here is the case. And right away, you can kind of see around the edges, it's not as clear. It looks a little bit more, less transparent. And that's because of the grip. So the texture around the grip is what's causing that. You get a very small branding hit on the back of the case. And then the other thing that's interesting is the camera hump on this one is definitely more pronounced. Actually, I really like the style of it. It adds something to the case, but you're definitely going to get good camera protection with that camera bump. Let's put the phone in the case. It's easy to put on, but you do get a nice tight fit, so there's no concern with fit around this case. It fits the phone really nicely. And you can see through the back of the case, so you're seeing kind of the gold border around the case, the back, which is more of a kind of a matte white. There's the bottom. And if you notice, the texture grip around the sides is even somewhat transparent, but it's more of a frost color around the sides of this case due to that texture. Here it is even more up close, and you can kind of begin to see that texture pattern. It does add a lot of grip to the case. So the one thing that Smartish is known for is the texture and the grip of their cases. They are very grippy cases. And here's that camera bump. Very pronounced. You'll get plenty of protection for the camera lenses. Mute rocker, very wide, large cutout for the mute rocker. Buttons are very clicky on this case. Here's your speaker grills and your power port. And then here's the other edge of the case, power button. You can see here where that camera bump is kind of more pronounced. It does stand out from the back of the case a little bit more than maybe what you're used to with the previous models of the iPhone. As I mentioned before, we're going to be taking another look at all of these cases more in depth, and we'll really get into what I like about them, what I don't like about them. So we'll bring them all back around to give you an even closer look at each of the features of the case and how it handles. So this is the Ghostek Covert 4. As I said before, this is the first Ghostek case I've purchased. Right out of the box, I love this case. This case looks really cool. Let's take a look at what comes with it. You get a kind of a card here with a link that'll show you kind of how the case works. A little thank you message, and then you get a sticker. It's a pretty cool sticker. I like this sticker. It kind of has some swagger to it. But here's the case. Now, one thing I will say, I do really like this case, but this is a bit of a critique. I don't know if this is typical for Ghostek or not, but this case came out of the box kind of dirty, to be honest with you. There's a little bit of a smudge there on the case. And so I'm not really sure, is that a Ghostek thing? Do they have quality issues, you know, or what? Other than that, I can't find anything wrong with the case at first glance, but I didn't like the fact that, you know, it is a little dirty feeling. So there's some smudges on the back of the case. It's not quite as clean as the Smartish case or the other case we looked at from Tim Dan. But you can see it looks like there's some orange material in the corners. that adds to drop protection. I mean, this one, out of these three cases, this case will give you the most drop protection. This case reminds me a little bit of the UAG style of cases, so it's made to be more rugged, made to give you more drop protection. There is a camera bump around the lens to give you protection for your camera lenses. Mute rocker, volume up and down button. And one of the things I'm noticing is the buttons are very clicky. So they kind of, the material stands out a little bit from the case, but it makes the buttons super clicky. So they've done some, probably the clickiest buttons I've had on a case. Kind of from the front, there's your power port, your speaker grills. I think this case is pretty cool. The corners are definitely beefed up. They stand out from the bottom of the case. So this will add, there's a small branding touch there. It says Covert on the side, but the corners will add a little bit of bulk. So this isn't a thin case by any means. It's not an overly thick case, but you do get some added bulk at the corners just due to that extra drop protection that they've built into the case. And here is the back of the phone. You do get a kickstand. It's kind of magnetic. We'll have to take a closer look at that and see how well that works. So quick look today, guys. Had 3 cases. Want to keep this one shorter than longer. So I wanted to give you just a quick unboxing, quick look at these cases. As I said before, we'll bring them all back. We'll take closer looks at these. I'll talk about what I like about them, what you need to know if you're thinking about making a purchase of one of these cases. But I appreciate you watching. Thanks, guys. Peace. And guess what? I just realized I ordered, here you go, first impressions. I ordered, I guess, the wrong size. So this is the iPhone 12 or 12 Pro size of the case. So that is not going to fit on the iPhone 12 Pro Max.